Now a former Tar Heel, Giovanni Bernard. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2 for Dalton. And that's complete to LaFell. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
From midfield here, Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. It's second down. Dalton looking. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Dalton on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
Back out Nugent now after the field goal as he'll send it away. And there's a flag on the play.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And oh, he kicked it out of bounds. That's a big penalty.
And this is where the rest of the team turns and stares at the kicker and says, you have one job. Execute it.
The pitch comes to Forte. And there's a flag on the field. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still first down.
They go play action here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Dalton throwing on second down. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out here in the eye. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The clock running here. Under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. Second down, Dalton. Penalty marker is down here. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line.
Holding. Offense. Still 2nd down.
And Dalton to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They send Green to the left on his own. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Green with a catch left side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 14 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Sets up the screen to Forte. It's a gain of 20 that time. That's good for a Jets first down.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
On first down, this is Forte. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So to carry that time for Forte, a man who turned 30 last December, Charles.
And he wants to make sure we forget about that with his new team, the New York Jets. But we do know that 30 is the dreaded age for runners.
And Forte so experienced, more touches than anybody else in the NFL the last 8 years. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
First down, Fitzpatrick. Smith catches left side. They'll get 16 yards there, and that's good for a Jet first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Partner, that defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that.
Fitzpatrick now on second down. It's caught on the right side at Smith. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now a second down throw for Fitzpatrick. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on third.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Here's a screen to Powell. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Fult's kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves? Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They send Green to the left on his own. Second down, Dalton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it's scooped up. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. And gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They send Green to the left on his own. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. They come up in an offset eye. Passing, it's Dalton. On the right side, caught by Green. A.J. Green. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 67 yards. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. 2nd down, Fitzpatrick. And that's complete to Marshall on the crossing route. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Caught right side, Davis. The big fella past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Kellen Davis, 58 yards. And the Jets are going to take the lead. So many times you think of these tight ends catching the ball already in the end zone. But today's tight end, they can run after the catch, too, to score.
They're big, they're strong, but they're extremely athletic. And they can surprise the heck out of you when they get the ball in their hands and they're running away from the defense.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along.
Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, these two guys, Dalton and Green, they've hooked up on some big plays since coming in as rookies together back in 2011. But sometimes Andy can rely on them just a little bit too heavily. And this is a ball he probably shouldn't have thrown.
And now out come the Jets. Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will bring it back It gets a pick six for a Bengals TD.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Sets up the screen to Forte. A big play there just before halftime. 56 yards.
What really hurts defenses on screen passes is that they eat up one of their levels right away. Because you know, most defenses, 3 levels. D-line, linebacker, secondary. But on a screen pass, you're inviting the defensive line to get past them, and then you throw the ball over their heads, and now there's just 2 levels left to try and stop big guys out in front of a guy running with the football.
Fitzpatrick flushed out right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Marshall, the lone receiver on the left side. Fitzpatrick now on second down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. In the red zone this time. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. He's got time, and he'll get nothing out of that one. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also, it may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
And it's scooped up by the Jets. Hopping over the top. We have hit halftime still. And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see in the postgame. We're ready to get to the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They start the second half with a run by Forte. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
8 yards to go here on second down. Here's Fitzpatrick. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They were looking for Marshall that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Now Fitzpatrick. Here's a screen to Powell. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Jones on the return. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bengals take possession. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Second down, Dalton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Fielded at the 20. And there's a flag on the play.